Well, guys, can you believe it? Lego has finally given us a new city theme steam engine, leaked recently, which I expect a lot of you have seen recently on various forums and Facebook groups. I thought it'd be good fun to take a look today at the new vintage Steam set, which is 60511, and give my kind of opinions on it. I think straight off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room. This is not a real steam train. It's a Lego City steam train. I've already seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's rubbish. Oh, it's no good. Not worth it." Uh, you got to curb your expectations. I think this is Lego's idea of a steam train for a Lego City, not Lego's idea of a real steam engine as a scale model, which a lot of us, I think, in the community try to achieve. So with that in mind, let's approach it with that mindset. There are a few things that I do think are wrong with the set and do need addressing, but we'll cover those as we go through. So straight off the bat, I think it looks great. It's an excellent color because I always like dark green engines. We've got a lot of detail put into the model as far as that they could do in the terms of, we have the whistle, we got a dome, light, buffers, all that sort of stuff. Fantastic little 060 tender locomotive. If we go to the next pictures, it doesn't come with the powered up gear as standard, which I think is a shame. And but that does mean that it's going to make it cheaper to buy. So because we only get one carriage with this set, I think that a few people are going to be wanting to buy a few of these so that they can have more rolling stock. I, for one, intend on getting this, and I will definitely be buying several of them to have more of these carriages to go behind it. But also some of these dark green parts, especially what's been used in what I assume is supposed to be the firebox up here, I definitely want some of those extras as well. So a really good set, and a good parts set as well. So if you wanted to make your own steam engines, the fact that this comes with a full set of wheels and the connection rods as well, you could use this as a basis to design your own steam locomotive on top of if you're looking for a city scale locomotive. So really pleased with that kind of aspect of the set. There are some oddities going on. So we'll start off with the most obvious being we've got buffers with the magnets put between the loco and the tender, which I think we've seen in several sets before in the past. This easily could just be a Technic link, but what's weird is that in this render, someone's forgotten that those magnets were there because they are massively closer together, which looks way better for the picture, definitely, but it's not the actual realistic gap that we should expect. And so because of that, I think you get a bit of a warped idea of what you should be seeing there. So I will probably try and modify mine to bring that closer and get rid of these magnets so I can reuse them somewhere else in a different build. But I think that'll be a lot nicer. The other weird stuff that's going on, if we come to this closer picture, you can see that that weird render a lot easier to see where those magnets would just be crashing into each other. Some of the other strange bits for me, the firebox setup is lower than the boiler, which would not happen in any steam loco whatsoever, especially as the dome is then lower than the boiler, so it's not going to be able to actually collect steam. And with the firebox lower than the boiler as well, it means that the water from the boiler isn't going to be able to go on top of the crown plate. So yeah, and that's going to need to be raised up, and you can see it really well from here as well. So I think on my model, at the very least, I'm going to modify mine to have a much taller firebox going on here. It probably only needs to be a brick more to make it look better, I think. That kind of feels a bit weird, because you are going to have steam fans that want this locomotive, so it's a bit weird that Lego hasn't sorted that out. The other thing which I find a bit weird, and that's probably more for me, just the types of locos and the British locos I like, is that all of the lamps are black, so they blend into the locomotive. I think it would have been nicer to have seen white parts used here so that we could more obviously see these are lamps and have a bit more differentiation between the colours and kind of see that detail a bit more. And then the front buffer bar, it's really difficult to see in these images, but there looks to be some sort of clip at the front here, and it's difficult to see exactly how these buffers are attached. I think there might be some sort of pin setup going on here to connect them in, but I think that we could definitely improve this area as well. So when I get mine again, I'm definitely going to improve that front buffer to have a nice red buffer bar with the buffers on them. The other thing I find a little bit odd about the loco as well is, I mean, the running board is a bit weird. So this looks like a really tall running board, and this almost looks like tanks on the side. So it's kind of like a tank and a tender. So I don't know what's kind of going on there. I think the Lego designers were just like, yeah, we'll just make it a train. Probably make it bulky, make it sturdy, so it's easier for kids to pick up and play with. Because let's not forget, it's not supposed to be a real train. It is a Lego train, so it's a toy train. So they're a bit weird. I probably I'll keep those just as they are because it's part of the look of this loco. But the cab, I do want to extend that cab out to cover this area because I think that's going to deal with a lot of the problem of the closeness of the tender and the cab itself, assuming it can still make it round R40 curves by doing that. So I definitely want to do that to make it look nicer. The other thing that I thought was a bit peculiar, and I guess it's kind of colour scheme related, is I thought it was a bit weird that they went for an all black boiler on here, but I do like the addition of the gold plates to create the lining on it. So I'm not sure if I'll change mine out to be all green with a black smoke box, but play around with that. I think it does look good, and I love the red that they've added to give a splash of colour at the bottom as well. That works really well for me. If we look now at the tender, so again you can see the lamps on the back are just black in colour. So again, I think those would have been nicer as white. That's just my kind of preference more than anything. The brown around the top, I'm assuming this is maybe more of a continental loco thing if you had like wood around the top, but it's a bit strange, I think, having that colour change. It would have, to me, it would have just been done as green. So perhaps that's something that I'd change on mine. I don't know. And then the other thing that I was thinking about looking at this is, I love that it's dark green because, like I said earlier, I love dark green locos. But if I buy several of these to get more carriages, I'm going to have possibly three locos. So 2 of them will get parted out, and I like some of the parts here are on there for that boiler. Sorry, not the boiler, the firebox would get used in different designs of mine, no doubt. So I like the fact that they are there, and it also means that those parts will probably become more available in the pab as well. So that's really, really nice to see. So pleased with that. I'm not sure about these windows. They're a bit odd to me. Just the circle windows. They're okay, but I don't think I'd end up using them. But yeah, it looks like the wheel configuration as well is the same as the last Hogwarts Express set that we got. We just don't have those 4 pony wheels at the front to guide around, and that I think is going to make this a lot more stable and simple running on a track as well, especially on an R40 track. And it's a lot more of a recognisable look for a steam train as well. The 060, I think, is very iconic for a train of any configuration, whether it's a tank engine or a tender engine. But yeah, I think that's a lovely looking loco. Definitely going to want some. Definitely want to play around with modifying it, because I think that's sort of the point of Lego as well, is you don't just have to make the model and go, oh, there it is, it's done. You can build upon stuff. So let's move on to the next image we've got. So that's just showing from the side. Again, we can see that much bigger gap where the magnets are actually being shown. And there we go, powered up components not included. So you have to buy your own. And then we come in to see the set as a whole. So we have included in this set a small amount of track and one of the railing ramps. This is obviously intended as the sort of set that a child would be able to push around. So when they're done, they'd back out of the station and just push it around the carpet and then come back onto the track when they pull into the station. I think it's a great idea. It works well as a playset in that manner. My own kids, when we've had trains and stuff, they like the electronics and stuff and having the trains go round, but there were a lot of occasions where they did just want to push the trains. So I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that they have done this as an unpowered set. The fact that they've included the ability to power it up easily, I think, is good. But the station itself, I think, is really weak. It's I do like this lamp post attachment we've got going on. It kind of looks like a sausage with a dish going onto it, but I think it looks quite nice. The kind of canopy that they've set up as well, though, is a very weak kind of look. It doesn't encapsulate that vintage train feel. I think they needed something more along the lines of what we saw in that last Harry Potter Hogwarts Express set, with Goatland Station being represented at Hogsmeade Station being represented. So yeah, it's a bit meh, that part. I think this bit went a bit too city, and they should have made it look a little bit more rustic to match the theme of the train. But what we can see though is we've got a good number of minifigures in the set. So 5 figures there. Looks like we've got 2 passengers, another passenger up here. We've got the train driver, and also seems to be acting as his own fireman as well. And we have a ticket master on there as well, conductor. So yeah, great little collection of figures. I don't think any of these are particularly special. It's just lots of torsos and leg combinations that we've seen before being reused. The little buffer stop, I think, is a nice addition as well. It's got nothing on some of the buffer stops that you can build, but I think it's probably one of the better looking buffer stops that we've seen in a Lego set, especially for a steam locomotive as well. Let's see if we got any more. Oh, here are the figures. So we have the driver, just a nice pair of overalls and a flat cap and a shovel. Nothing wrong with this fig. He looks really good. I probably want to reuse him in other parts of my kind of builds and mocks, because I think he's a great looking figure. All the other figures, very standard looking figures that we've seen before, I think. And the staff look really good. The coffee mug's quite an interesting addition as well. Whether that's supposed to be a coffee mug or a pitcher, it's very difficult to tell. But everybody looks like they're having a good time there. And again, we've got this overview of the set. I'm pretty sure there was a view of that station a bit more from the other side. Oh, we should actually talk about the carriage. The carriage itself. So this one is very basic carriage, a few bits of seating in there. It has these 2 verandas at the front and the back. Ironically, we do have a white tail lamp on this one. So they do know that white exists. I kind of feel like it feels more Americanish, maybe more continental, with the verandas, the front and back, but I don't mind that. It's a nice kind of look. I don't think there'd be much I'd change on the carriage. It reminds me a lot of the sort of ones that you'd get at theme parks and miniature railways and things like that. So I quite like those. I'd probably leave those as they are. We can also see from this view more clearly there is actually a signal as well, which is, I'm not sure what kind of prototype it's supposed to look like. I think someone just sort of described what a signal would look like to somebody that has never seen one, because we've got light and an arm as well, which is a bit weird. But it's nice that they've kind of gone to that effort to create more of the vintage vibe for it there, I think. And we can see more of that little shelter as well, which I'm really not that sold on. All of this, I think, is just going to be parts. It'll get parted out and used in other things, because I don't really see much value in it for myself. And then we got a nice overview there in the live shots. It being played with. And again, this is the idea of kids pushing it around, which is, not a bad way of doing it. In fact, what's quite amusing, I've just realised, is in these shots, a lot of times when they're showing the train here with the station, This station, I think, is actually quite short. It probably only comes to there, so the carriage that they've got isn't actually even lined up to where that station is in a lot of their shots, and they've had to shuffle it backwards for this one where they've put the carriage in. So the train itself is going to be proud of that station, and they're doing a little bit of a deceptive setup. Yeah, you can see how short it is there. I mean, that's got to be what, maybe 32 studs total. Not a huge amount, but like I said, I think this is mostly just going to get thrown into people's parts bins. The real star of the show is the train itself. So we've got an example of it being built up here. I think this is showing it being built rather than inclinating that the sides are going to be removable, especially as there's a lot of exposed studs. But I remember the 2018 Harry Potter train had the removable side to the carriage, so it's a shame they've not done that to make the playability easier. And that's obviously not the powered up version because the coal load is in flat, so I'm assuming that we're going to basically just have a powered up hub that sits in there, and that's just going to get changed out for the motor, which is all good and fun. And that's all the pictures that are there at the moment. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be buying one of these. My intention is to get one, modify it, and I was after a small steam locomotive to be able to run it on my garden railway, and I think that this is going to be the one. So looking forward to when it comes out. I think that these are the summer releases, so what's that, kind of June time for Lego. They've not put any details up on their site yet. I've been hearing that it'll be around £70 or £80 for one of these, which maybe a little expensive for what it is. It's not that much more than some of the regular train sets, although Lego have put their prices up in recent years. We'll have to see once the actual final details come out, but I'm looking forward to it. I think that it's going to be a lot that we can do with this set, and it's nice to see Lego have listened to people saying we want more steam trains. I mean, I think that the Orient Express demonstrated to Lego that there was a want for more steam related locomotives, and this is certainly a start of that. I mean, they even reference, I've been told that the number 317 references the My Own train sets as well, so they must be listening to a certain extent, surely. But that's all I've got for you today, and hopefully we'll feature a proper video on building and modifying this when it releases later this year. That's all for now. If you've enjoyed this, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.